Sunday morning, everybody. Hello and welcome. I'm Debbie Fisher and this is your Starter Skills Sunday. I'm really excited about today because we have loads going on, loads of different techniques that are going to be shown. And of course, they're not going to be shown by me today because I'm on this side of the studio. So I have my partner in crime, my best friend, my absolute buddy, and he's in the studio. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning. Well, holidays are coming. Holidays are coming.
Here's the season.
Coca-Cola. Yeah, this is going to be fun. So yeah, we have popped away our buddy the jumpers for today. So we've come in, Debbie, nice and beautiful festive red, and me with well, the red tone of holidays are coming. If I wasn't excited enough yesterday, really excited. It's been a wee while since I've been on this side.
Yes, I know.
I know it has been. Giving the team a bit of a helping hand while Ben and Sarah, certainly Ben, has been away. Looks like they had some fun travelling from Aberdeen to Edinburgh.
I was listening to them singing. Yes, they do like their tunes, our Sarah and Ben,
They
singing
do
away
indeed.
in the car, which is amazing. But anyway, let's see who's with us today. We've got Chloe on socials, so remember we are fully interactive, so you can absolutely tune in and send us any messages into the studio. We've got Gemma in this morning, and she's saying, "Oh, good morning, everyone. Cold and foggy here in Lincoln. We've got snow.
Yes.
Woke up to snow this morning. I couldn't believe it. And actually, I have to say, it was better the snow this morning than it was the ice yesterday, because the snow, I didn't have to defrost my car.
No.
Just wind wipers and the snow goes. Yeah, and yeah, so it was much better. Oh, she's taking the kids to see Santa today. That's going to be really exciting. Tony Marie's in, and she's saying good morning, Craig, Debbie, and the crew, and everyone in the chat. We've got Kathy in today from Missouri, and Lisa's in as well, saying hi from Minnesota, and also good morning from Lumin Janine. So good morning to everyone, or wherever you're watching from, whatever time of day, whatever the weather. Stay tuned because we've got some amazing things coming up. The first thing I want to show you is this amazing scoreboard. This is our big score. It is, well, in fact, I'm not going to tell you a lot about it because I'm going to let Craig do all the talking. Craig, what's the big score all about?
The big score, it's all about being able to score on a bigger base. So we have got the ability to score up to A3. You can then score a lot smaller if you want. However, what we do have is measurements on one side that are inches, and you go up 1/8 of an inch. We've got measurements all the way along the top. What I will say is there is measurements along the bottom. I'll explain that just in a moment. But on the opposite side, what we have is we've got centimetres. So centimetres, half centimetres, all the way along the top. And then what you've got included is your score tool. We're going to take that. I am going to go in with my scoreboard and I'm going to go on inches. We're going to create a very simple box. Not only can you score your lines, do your concept lines, it is a box maker. Now this side is for your box lid. If I go down, it is embossed at the very bottom where it says box lid. There is an arrow that points to this left-hand side. There is a lip just runs all the way up. If I go to this side, there is an arrow that says box base. Now I'm going to come back here. So against this side, this is true measurements. So this is 100% true measurements all the way along. If you look at the measurements here, they're not actually 100% true, and it's to do with this side here to create your base. So what I'm going to do is, when making any size box, start with 2 pieces of card exactly the same size. So don't change the sizes, they're exactly the same. So I'm going to come in, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to score at 1 inch. So this is where my lip as my box lid will be 1 inch. So all the way around, popping up against that left-hand side, which is your box lid, we are scoring at 1 inch. Set that to the side. Now I'm going to come in to this right-hand lip here, and I'm going to score also at the 1 inch mark here. Keeping in mind, this isn't a true measurement. It will all come together in a moment. Now, I find it hard to score up. So you can just turn your board around, make sure it's still against the edge. You're at that 1 inch, and we're going to score all the way around. So we're working it with our score tool. I'm going in, one press all the way down. You can do a few that are light. I'm going to set that to the side. Using your score tool, we're going to fold, we're going to burnish, so work your way along. So we're going to add all of these burnished lines, and at first they will look as though they're exactly the same, but we can go in, we're going to then burnish. I'm then going to come in with my scissors, and where we've got our little square, so we've got a square that connects just there. I'm going to snip down to that first line, which is 1 inch, and I'm going to take a little nick. That's then creating a little tab. I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. So let's go in, and then in. And I'm going to do exactly the same with this one here. So snip down to that 1 inch line. We're going to go in, we're working in, we're going to go in. So we're doing exactly the same all the way around. Bringing in my adhesive, I'm using my tape runner, and on those tabs, I'm adding my tape. We can go in. You can choose your adhesive. I'm going in with a dry adhesive, which is our tape runner. Press that in. We're going to do exactly the same here. Add in our adhesive on all 4 tabs. We're joining them together, so we're crossing over and creating a mitre. We're going to go in, we're pressing all the way around, pressing that one in, and then what we can then do is you will see that your box lid and your box base fit together. All you need to do is sit them in, and that is your box with your score board, the big score.
Absolutely perfect. How amazing is it to be able to create a box that's so quick, just like that. The scoreboard is amazing, the big score. Okay. Let's pop those down there. I was getting eager to show you the next thing, but I'm going to let Craig set up. So let's have a look who else is in this morning. So many people are joining us on this wintry morning. Do let us know what you're up to, because it is a snowy, very cold morning. So we have, let's have a look. Adriana is in, Wolf Dark Eyes is in, saying good morning to all of us and the CCTV crew and to Crafty Friends. Michelle says she loves my dress. Thank you very much. Rachel saying good morning everyone. The white stuff has just started falling in Shropshire, but not sticking at the moment. I don't think it will stick, but it's nice to have a bit of fluffy snow, isn't it? Oh, everyone's saying they love my dress. Thank you very much. I'm not normally a red person, but I thought as it was a wintry jumper, I would put it on. Cheryl's saying good morning, Craig and Debbie, and to all our Crafty Friends from Alaska. I bet it's snowing in Alaska, isn't it?
Bet it is.
Shadia's saying, oh wow, Debbie, you look, Miss Debbie Giggles, you look very pretty. Thank you very much. And Stephen's saying good morning. It's snowing in Andover. Kimberly's in this morning. Val's in saying hi, Craig and Debbie. Very cold and icy. The snow forecast for later. So I think lots of people are going to get snow today. I think the social channels are going to be full of snowy pictures. Michelle's saying, how do you measure when you want to make the lid shorter than the bottom?
Really good question.
There we go, good question.
So there is measurement ways, but what I do that makes it very, very simple. Let's see if I can prise this apart, because I've not pressed too hard just yet. So what I'm going to do is, before you score and attach it all together, this is what I do. I know Debbie Robinson does the same. I'm not too sure about yourself, Debbie. But I get them so they're exactly the same. And then what I do with my guillotine is I trim the lid that way. So it just means you're not having to work out a measurement for one, a measurement for the other.
Yeah.
That's to say there is ways, but for me, the simplest way is get them in that same position, and then on the box lid, I will then trim, let's say, 1/4 inch off each side, and then I will then start to attach them together. That just means you've got that extra little depth of lip that runs all the way around.
Yeah, and a rule of thumb I always think, make sure that when both pieces are scored, they have that same measuring. So like with Craig's, it's probably a 4 inch by 4 inch or 5 inch by 5 inch. You just want to make sure that's the same, and then you can just elongate your edges as well, which is amazing. We've got loads of people in, so we will get round to just saying hello in a little while. Firstly, I want to show you something amazing, and it truly is amazing. Now, this is a scoreboard, but it's got a difference. This is the first Enveloper Pro that Sarah bought to us. The original one was done in a MDF. This one is super fine, isn't it, Craig?
It is, it really is. Enables you to make many of your simple and standard size envelopes that we will go over. Now, what you'll see first and foremost is a scoreboard style. And these letters that run all the way here, these correspond with a booklet. Now, mine is a printout. You will get a glossy booklet with yours. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a size chart here. We've got 5-inch envelopes, we've got mini slimline oblong 7x5 envelopes that you can make. I'm going to go with a simple flat 5x5 envelope. Now within these ones are in centimetres. You can get inches on our website. But what I am going to do is I've cut my cardstock to 21 centimetres by 21 centimetres, keeping in mind this is going to create a 5x5 envelope, and it tells me I need to use C and C. So let's move that out the way. And then what I'm going to do is, because I want to fold in on itself, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn this around so that I've got my white coating facing me. Now you will see your envelope sit snugly, your cardstock snugly against that little 90-degree corner. And all that I'm going to do in the embossed detail along the top, we've got A, B, C, D all the way along. So I'm looking for score line C. So I'm going to pop that one into place here. And in actual fact, I'm going to change my mind. I am going to score on the actual Centura Pearl side, and I will explain why in a moment. So I'm scoring line C. I'm going to turn that around, and I'm going to score at line C. I'm going to go in once again, score at line C, and then I'm going to score at line C. So that's what it means by C and C. So C and C on one side, C and C on the other side. I'm going to move that to the side, and then this is where I'm going to fold in on itself. So it's always good to then score on top. So you're pushing that score line. We're going to burnish all the way along. So we're going to add that score line. And for our envelope, what we're going to do is where you have got that triangle in each corner, just down here, we're going to snip that out. So we're going to follow the score line. So we're going to take that triangle out. This is creating a flat envelope. So I'm taking all of those out. You will start to see that envelope shape come into play. So then what I'm going to do now, using your adhesive of choice, I'm going to use my tape runner. You will see that that starts to create your envelope. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to add a little bit of tape in the middle so I can press that in. And then on this strip here, let's add some adhesive. We can press that into play. I'm going to give that another really nice score and burnish. And then that will fit your card blank perfectly. And then what you can do is you can then decorate it whichever way you so wish. You can write on it if you want, or decorate it with however way you like, but there is a 5x5 envelope using our Envelope Pro.
Absolutely amazing. I think if anybody wanted to make an envelope, you've made that look so easy, Craig. And when you have the right tools, like this enveloper, you are going to be able to make all these different sizes of envelopes so quickly and efficiently, and they're going to look really like you've bought them from an expensive store. So absolutely amazing. Now, the next thing we want to do is, before we do anything, let's have a look. Let's see who's there. I'm feeling quite blushed this morning. I've just got loads of people saying how lovely I look in red, so thank you very much. Isn't it funny where you don't choose? Do you have a colour that you don't normally wear, Craig? Or you probably get away with most colours, don't you?
I do get away with most colours. Pink is one that...
Yes.
I like wearing pink, but I get a lot of lovely comments when I'm wearing like my pink shirt, whether it's a checkered shirt or plain white shirt, but pink.
I very rarely wear red, so I might have to wear red as I've got such lovely comments in, so thank you. So Kimberly's saying that this is the first time that she bought it, and it's great. It's I just have a small craft area, so now that she's bought the smaller scoreboards, so she's talking about the scoreboards before, and Michelle is saying great for making boxes, makes it so easy. And then we've got lots of people saying that no snow yet, but very cold, ground frost in Nottinghamshire, and we all look very Christmassy. Well, it's running up to Christmas. In fact, it's 14 days until Christmas. It's exactly 2 weeks today.
Oh, so it is.
Oh my goodness, yes. Wow,
That's good.
Very scary, isn't it? But yeah, that's very good. Yeah, absolutely, it's amazing. So now we're going to look at a special treats box. Now, I say box, board. We're going to look at this special treats board. I'll say it again. We're going to look at this special treats board. I love this one because it really does create the most amazing boxes. And Craig, you're going to show us exactly how it's used.
I am indeed. Now, these boards, these do sit in an Ultimate Pro that we do at Crafter's Companion. That's why you see these little notches, so they will sit nicely and snugly. However, you can absolutely use it as a standalone board. There is two sides, and you can see lots of embossing detail. Now, this is going to create a milk carton. It can also give you the ability to make a smaller one, and there's all these little embossed tags that you can create. Now, what I'm going to do for this one is we actually want to see the embossed detail. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on itself, and then I'm just making sure, because I'm wanting to score all of this detail, I want to make sure that my card does fit it all, which it does. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to take some low-tack tape or sticky tape to hold it in. Now, I'm only going to do it at this side because I may need to dot back and forwards just by lifting, which is absolutely fine. What you're going to start to do is you're going to start to find your groove. So you're going to go in, and then you're going to start to follow. So if you need to come along and have a look, you can do. Every now and again, I'm going to pause and lift it just to see if we can see that score line. What I'll do is I will carry on, and then once I have finished, I turn it around, you're going to see that embossed detail all the way around. So we are simply falling into the grooves. If you slip out, do not worry, it's not going to mark your cardstock underneath. So once again, we're just working our way along the channels, and then we're following it in, and I'm going to keep saying it's absolutely fine if you need to lift. Just make sure you pop it back down in that same position. So we'll go in the grooves there, work it in all the way along here. So if you need to lift, go in. So you're following it along using your scoring tool. I like to do section by section. So what we can then do is we can then go all the way up the top. So we're going to go all the way up to here, and then we're going to score in. Can feel the grooves. I can feel the grooves in here. work it along. And if you want to do it lightly a few times and then go in a second or third, you can, but whatever is comfortable for your hand. So work our way. Once you get in that channel, we just continue all the way along. And I'm only wanting the outside detail of this scoring board. I'm not wanting all that additional detail in the middle. And then we're going to go in, so we can then go and score. So work our way up, get in that channel, follow it down, that we can see here. If you need to lift, so I'm going to go into that one, like so. And then that will give us our score detail from our milk carton, that we can see here. Using your scissors now, what I like to do is I want to see that embossed line. So I'm going to cut to that right-hand side of the embossed line. So we're seeing it. So I'm going to cut all the way up one side here. And you're going to work your way all the way round. So you're following the detail you've embossed all the way round, which will then look like that. So we can see your milk carton coming into place. You're going to do that twice, and you're going to burnish all of these. So this is where usually we would score in on the card, but because we want to see that embossed detail, I'm lightly pressing and giving it a light burnish. And then once again, we're just working our way round. So pop all these little tabs, we're working it in, and then when it comes to this little bit, just give it a little bit of manipulation. So then you've started to get your milk carton. What I would also say as well, your measurement along the bottom, cut a square, that's going to enhance the base. Cut that to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then on this tab here, I'm going to add some adhesive. I'm going to go in, I'm going to fold that in and give it a rub if you're using your tape runner to build up that heat and pressure. I'm going to add another piece on that other tab. You can then see how this starts to come together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in, I'm going to add my adhesive onto the bottom. I would do one on the inside and the outside to reinforce it, but all that I want to do is square that one up along the bottom, press something in to anchor it down, and then you'll see that your milk carton comes together. Clip it on the top, pop a little gift in there, but super simple by going in, embossing, cutting, 2 of them, attach them together, and you've got a lovely embossed milk carton using our scoreboard.
That is absolutely amazing. Now, this scoreboard has so much versatility. You've seen what our Craig's made. If I turn it round, you've got an additional box on the back as well, made in a similar way, but a completely different style. This board is a must for any crafters. Okay, who's in today? So everybody's joined us. In fact, there's so many people up this morning and up early if you're in the US and also in the UK. Betty's in, she's saying that she's got all the scoreboards and the Ultimate Pro and she's using a grand prize store credit. Betty, you won that prize, yes, which was amazing. I think I see a picture of you on Facebook and surrounded by all your goodies. That was amazing. Helen is saying, hi everyone, thanks for the demo, Craig. I never really understand how you did the boxes. Also, can you tell me the best way to store the new glue pen, please?
The
new glue pen.
New
glue pen.
So is that
must just be the glue pens?
Just the tacky ones, yeah. So what I would say, anything liquid based, whether it's alcohol pen, aqua pen, glue pen, anything like that, where possible, I would always store on its side, even when it goes to the glue, with our glue pen, you know that you're going to get that really good flow of adhesive afterwards. The thing with turning them upright, certainly with a glue pen, is depending on the temperature of your room and with it sitting even, sometimes that can affect the continuous flow. So if you sit it on its side, you've got that nice even line of glue that's going to just keep flowing through that ball tool end. So hopefully that helps.
Yes, hopefully it does. Michelle saying 2 weeks before Christmas means 3 weeks before the new year. Don't wish it away,
No, not at all.
Michelle. Absolutely not. I'm definitely not wishing it away. My son arrives a week tomorrow, and I'm so excited. And then when the new year comes, he's going back to Mexico, so I don't want to think about that. Sandra saying, hello everyone, settling down, snuggled up in a super fleecy hooded velour blankie to watch Craig and Debbie. We love that. Catherine is saying 2 weeks till Christmas today, but we've also got one of our daughters getting married next Saturday, a Christmas wedding. How amazing would that be?
Awesome.
Absolutely amazing. Lillian is saying, I thought someone had stolen my car. It's black and I've just gone outside and it slowly dawned on me that the white car in my space was mine.
That's funny, I like that. That's a good one.
Lillian, that is absolutely brilliant. Now, the next scoreboard we have is the Teddy Surprise. The Teddy Surprise scoreboard is absolutely amazing. Again, double-sided scoreboard, and our Craig is going to show us exactly how to use it.
I am indeed. I'm going to take our Teddy Surprise. I'm going to use the Teddy on this side. You do have butterflies, you have milk cartons, you've got tags, you've got little paw prints. All of these you can emboss. Now these boards will sit in a product that we do called the Ultimate Pro. So this is what these little notches are at the bottom here and the top. However, you can absolutely use this as a standalone board. Now I'm going to use this outline of the Teddy to create a card blank. Now what I am going to do is I've brought in some cardstock. This is a Centura Pearl. Now once again I'm going to fold it in on itself because I want to push that embossed detail into the card. I'm going to use a little bit of low tack tape to hold it at the top, and I'm just going to do that one piece. And then what that also does is it gives me a lever. So you may need to pop up and down every now and again, which is absolutely fine. All you're going to do is make sure that you're back in that correct groove each time. So pick a point. So I'm going to go in at the start of the ear of this bear. So I'm going to work my way round and then lift in where needed. So follow it in, and you start to feel it kind of pause. It stops when it comes to the end of each score line. So there it stops. So I know I need to go down and then push my embossing tool, and then we're working all the way along. So you can go in light and start to build that train of embossed detail. And then once you know where it is, you can then go in afterwards and start to enhance that score line. So going over, if you go out, don't worry, because you've got that base of the board protecting you. That line's not going to transfer through, only where you have got that groove. So once again, we're working our way around, following the groove of the bear. And then once we get towards the top, we finish it off. And you can also use half the bear as a guide. It's symmetrical, so you can always eyeball one side while you're working your way around. So going in, last remaining bit. So once again, make sure that we're in, follow it through, and then I'm just going to take that last bit up at the top. And then what that gives you is a lovely outline for a teddy. So let's take that into here, remove that, and we've got the outline of the teddy bear. What I'm then going to do is using my scissors to the outside edge of that emboss, I'm going to trim all the way around. You can trim to the inner, However, you won't see that embossed line. You can trim right in the middle, but for me, it's easier trimming to that right-hand side because you've got a guide. So you're going to go all the way around the teddy bear. And once you've done that, it's going to look like that there. And then to create a really simple card blank in the form of a teddy bear, I have done two. And from ear to ear, using a straight score line, I have created that line. I'm going to bend that back on itself lightly. I'm going to add a bit of adhesive to the top. So I'm going to use a tape runner. Now, the actual score line doesn't have to be that deep, as long as you've got a little bit of a hinge. I've just done it quite deep to show you. And then all that I'm going to do is I'm going to layer that teddy over the top, bang over the top. I'm going to press. Now, you can add more detail when it comes to additional teddy bears. You can add extra detail from both sides. However, that is how you can create a very, very simple but cute teddy bear card blank that you can then create using your teddy bear and butterfly scoring board.
What an absolutely amazing way to use these scoreboards. I never thought about doing an actual card blank like that, which is amazing. Now remember, you're getting your teddy bears, your butterflies. It's like your Build-A-Bear. You've got your hats on here, your bows, lots of different butterfly embellishments. But remember, it is a double-sided board. So you are seeing all these different patterns, all these tags, the birdhouses, the milk bottles here. You're going to be able to score them, cut them out, and use them as accessories for anything that you make them with. So don't forget to add your scoreboards into whatever you're crafting with. Right, let's see who else is about with us today. So Kath is in, Betty's in, Michelle's in. Michelle's saying another great idea, use ink pads and should skip over voided areas. Ah, so you're right. So that's almost, if you use the ink pads over it, you will get like that letterpress. It wouldn't go into the grooves because it's like an embossing folder. And Margaret is saying, good morning, everyone. I've had my scoring board for years and never knew there was box making marks on it. How bad is that? That's hilarious.
It's funny, isn't it? But then it's good that this is what the shows are all about, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. So having these sort of shows which really show us how to do things, Craig, are just invaluable, aren't they?
They really, really are.
And I have to say, I know we sort of class ourselves as quite advanced crafters, but I've never seen that made before on a card. I wouldn't even thought to make an actual card blank out of that. So I think that's a really clever idea. I love that.
It's a clever way, isn't it? It's a nice way. Sometimes maybe a new baby or, you know, a wee one's having a birthday and you want something different. They love their teddy bears. Then do that with the scoreboard with the teddy bears. But you've got the different sizes. Create a tag, maybe make a box for the little gift and then create a tag using the smaller teddy bear.
So Adriana has just said that a shaker card would be really good. So I was just thinking, use the smaller teddy bear as to cut it out inside the belly, and then you could put a little shaker belly inside. That would be so amazing. So I love that one, Adriana. So yes, so any questions, get them into us today. Anything you want to ask about, ask Craig in the studio, send us in a message. Any snowy pics, Charlotte would love to see them. So send them our way. But we're going to just have a little break now, and you're going to have a Meet with Ben.
Hello, I'm Ben and I'm one of the presenters on Crafters TV. So my presenting journey started when I was about 18. I started working at a holiday park here in the UK. Our US viewers might not know it, but there's like a holiday park called Butlins. So what's involved with being a presenter? Well, my day-to-day kind of is ensuring I know everything that's on the show. Ensuring that the guys that I'm working with obviously are happy with everything that's on the show. And I kind of feel like what I do, I'm sort of like the glue in the show, if you like. There's a bit of a crafty reference for you. So kind of listening to the guys in the gallery, the producer, the director, sort of always listening to what they want me to do whilst the crafters are crafting. So I feel like I'm there as the glue, keeping sort of everything, as it should be. But I also think my job is to have a lot of fun, which I think I do on most days. Get the viewers interacting, because we always love to hear from our viewers, and I think that's one thing that we do here that you don't get anywhere else, is that interaction, having people like, you know, commenting, asking a question, and then straight away we're able to react, we're able to answer that question, we're able to, you know, read out that comment, we're able to join them in singing their rendition of Foam on a Roll. Yes. I've helped to run the show, I help to inspire, to educate, to entertain, and just sort of generally be a good all-round bloke. So who inspires me? My dad is a big inspiration for me. He's one of my best friends, and I probably speak to him twice a week, but he's always sort of instilled a sort of a good work ethic in me. His big catchphrase is work hard and play hard, and that's something that I live by, is you know, to put all your effort in when you're at work, and you know, make sure you're doing a good job, but then when you're outside of work, make sure you have time to kind of have fun, spend with your friends, spend with your family. So I always remember that. Apart from Crafters TV, what else am I passionate about? Well, obviously I'm passionate about my family. I love to spend time with my family, with my wife, my 2 children, and my 3 pets now, because we just got another dog recently, a puppy, which is killing me. I've got no sleep. Also passionate about sport. I think a lot of our viewers know I'm a big rugby fan. Running I like to do, but again, the old knees are beginning to hurt just a bit. I'm getting old. Oh, so many amazing experiences connecting with our viewers. Always get sent cards, which is lovely on sort of special occasions, and birthday cards every year. I always get cards sent through, which is so nice to come in and have, you know, some cards, and you can send presents as well if you like. I've never had a present yet, so if anyone wants to send presents, you can. Do you know what? I haven't had many presenter fails, particularly here. Actually, here, presenter fails, knocking over pack shots. I'm very bad at doing that. If you stack a pack shot too high, chances are I'm going to get exuberant in my arms and knock it over. My biggest moment of pride or biggest achievement, I've got a few. I mean, these are big for me. You'll probably laugh. I ran the London Marathon. I was a Guinness World Record holder. I've got the certificate for that up on the wall alongside my marathon photo and alongside my Foam on a Roll caricature. My Guinness World Record was for naming the most amount of Beatles songs from their opening lyrics in 1 minute. I've had things named after me over the years. I had an alpaca named after me. If you are ever in Aylesbury, do make sure that you go and drive around the roundabout, which is near the Waterside Theatre there, because you'll find that that particular roundabout is named after me. Oh yes, I have a roundabout named after me, big time.
How lovely is it to meet the presenters and get to know Ben a little bit more. But I am chuckling because I've just read Rachel Norton's, no, sorry, not Rachel, Lillian's put a comment on, and she's put, what kind of glue is Ben? Tacky glue, all purpose, all singing and dancing glue, or hot glue? And our Charlotte's just said in my ear, chunky glue. Ben, I didn't say that, it was Charlotte. So I think he's definitely the all-purpose, I think, all singing, all dancing, absolutely. And tacky glue for his gags, John is saying.
Definitely,
so,
yes.
yeah, absolutely, great question. Tony Marie's saying that she loves the teddy bear board. Yeah, absolutely much. She loves that card, Craig. So, yeah, and Rachel is saying, hi, everyone at CTV. Justin from South Australia. Oh. Wow, you must be quite early in the early hours of the morning there, I would have thought. So, but welcome, whatever time of day that you are joining us, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, let us know, drop us in a message, say hi, and we're here all day, which will be amazing. Now, we want to go back to that big score because lots of people are really interested in that. And actually, Craig, we were just saying about people not knowing that it is actually
Absolutely,
a box maker,
yeah.
because a scoreboard offers so much more, but actually the box making side of it just just makes it super simple, doesn't it?
It does, it really does. And the fact it goes up to, well, you know, you can have increments an 1/8 of an inch all the way up. So, you know, if you are doing a flat card or a flat box, if it's something that's decoupage and you're wanting depth to it, you can decide the depth. But the good thing is as well, is you can do a box, because it's the large one, it's the big score, then you can do a really big box and you can do it with the depth of, you know, an 1/8 of an inch, or you know, you can go even deeper if you want to, and it's all done by exactly the same size cardstock. So I thought what we'll do is, very quickly, I thought the box that I've just done, let's decorate it. I've got all the adhesives on it, so I thought let's decorate it to show you how you can just pretty it up if you want. And then I thought what we'll do is, I've got some gold satin cardstock, uncut. So I thought we'll bring in our guillotine, and then I thought we'll make a strange size. Let's go for a 5 inch by 3 inch box, and we'll do it at 1 inch in depth. But then what I'll also show you is, if you want the lip of the lid to be thinner, how I then just create that little lip a bit thinner. So just try to mix it up within a little short demo, because there really is so many ways, Debbie, in which you can use the big score, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, the big score is the biggest board we do, which means if you want to make really large boxes, if you've got A3 cardstock, that's incredible that you can make a really big box like that without even cutting your card down. So incredible.
Exactly, yeah. And then just simply, depending on the size that you're making, I still do Mats and Laird's 1/4 of an inch, even though it's on the box. Edges, I would always recommend you decorate them before you assemble it, but going in, once again, depending on the size of the box you make, a lot of these little folds, these tabs, Debbie, these would be good with your bits of offcuts, any scraps to decorate.
We've all got a bit box, haven't we?
We've all got them. So simply turn in a 5 by 5 box that's 1 inch with some simple layers, can then completely change the look.
That is so pretty, Craig.
But then going, thank you, Debbie. Thank you.
And and I don't want to take anything away. I know you're a very talented man, but that is just beautiful with those simple hearts on the front.
It works, doesn't it? It really does work. Now, what I'm going to do, because one question I get asked quite a lot, Debbie, is how do you decide on the measurement? You know, so let's say, for instance, so I'm going to do a 5 by 3 box. Okay, so let's just say, so I like most of my boxes to be 1 inch in depth. So this is 3 inches and this is 5 inches. So that's going to be the basis. Now I need 1 inch all the way round to create the box lid. So that's going to be +1 +1. So that means I'm going to need cardstock that is 5 inches. And then that's also going to be +1 +1, so that's going to be 7. So I need a piece of cardstock that's 7 by 5, and I'll score it 1 inch all the way round.
Amazing.
Or it could be 1/2 inch, or 3/4 of an inch, or centimetres if you work with centimetres.
That's a really nice, simple way of explaining that, Craig.
It's just visually, you can see that, the quickest of drawing diagrams, but visually, right, that's the side's 3 inches, I need 1 inch, I need 1 inch, jot it down, and then that gives a visual way as to knowing what you need. And then that's what I do. So I'm going to go in, so I need 5 by 7, and with our big score, they're both exactly the same. Nothing different. And what we mean by that, before the days of the scoreboards, what you would then do is cut 2 pieces initially, exactly the same. Then, Debbie, you would need to go in, and then you would have to start cutting little slithers off. So one bit, one side, is smaller than the other.
Yep.
Whereas you don't need to do that. Just to reiterate, they're both exactly the same that we've got here, and it's satin card, glitter card, matte cardstock, anything like that. And then this is where the magic happens. So your measurement's right along the top, up to 12 inches. That's true. So if you line up against the side, that is 100% true measurement. So you can always use that as a ruler guide if you want to. That is your lid, and it's got it here embossed at the bottom. So that'll always be your lid side. And here is the base, where it says box base. Now that isn't true measurement, because where I said a moment ago, before, what you would used to do is trim little bits off for the box base. You don't need to do it now, because this corner down here with the box base, with these measurements, that takes it all into account. You don't need to think about it. I know in some ways you might think I'm overcomplicating it, but it's just to explain why you don't need to do anything different. All you need to know is that you are going to have 2 pieces, whatever size. And once again, what I'm going to do is I am doing it at 1 inch, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, 5/8 if you want to, but score. So something like a satin card, I'll do it lightly a few times. And then what I'm going to do is score all the way around. And then what you can do at this point as well, because we do die sets, don't we, Debbie, where we've got little fancy edgeables that you can then come and cut before you assemble. So you don't need to keep them straight. So then that's given me my 3x5 with my 1 inch. So I say that's going to be the lid. If I do the same here, and this is where box base, we're up against the box base side, and we're scoring at the 1 inch. But this is where, as I was saying, I find it so hard to score up. And so that I don't have to go in, run up that trail, find where I need to go, what I just do is turn it around. So it makes it easier for me. And then what we're going to do is score all the way around. And then at this point, this is where it's going to fit beautifully, perfectly together. But if you want the lid of your box to be slightly shallower, let's just pick it up. What I'm going to do here, Debbie, is I'm going to bring in my guillotine, which is here.
I'm glad you showed that, Craig, because I do exactly the same thing. I turn my board round and score, because I'm always used to scoring on the left-hand side.
That's it, yeah. And I just can't, I can't push up. I can't score by going up.
Yeah.
So turn it around. So this is where our box base will be a depth of 1 inch, no matter what. But what will happen is your lid of your box is going to cover it completely. I want it to be a little bit shallower. So let's say half an inch, Debbie.
Yep.
I'm going to take half an inch off the side. I'm going to do half an inch the other side, half an inch the other side, and half an inch the other side. Now that gives me a shallow box lid lip. However, it is still the same measurement to fit nicely and snugly. It just means that you're going to see part of the box base. I would give them all a burnish, but let's just, for the sake of showing you, we're going to go in and we're creating our own little tab. So I'm going to cut and take a V out. So this is also where you might want to use some really special cardstock for the base, and this enables you to see some of the edges because your lid is slightly shallower. So let's do this one. So we're going to open this one up. So I'm going to snip down, and you're wanting to snip straight down to that score line, that 1 inch. But when it comes to the little tab, as long as you've created a tab, it could be a thin tab if you want to. What I mean by that, it could be a slither, but what that's doing is that's creating that nice flush miter joint that we can see here. So as long as you've got that little bit of a tab, and then what I'm going to do, once again, for speed, I am just going to use my tape runner for this one. When it comes to boxes, construction, I would tend to use a wet glue or red liner tape. But can you imagine, Christmas is coming up, you've maybe got a lovely little gift, you've got maybe some jewellery or something, and you've got some satin card. There's your base. Decorate it with some vellum or acetate, or you can even decorate it with pattern paper. But if we come in with our lid, trimmed half an inch all the way around, and for me, that's the easiest way to create a lid that fits the base, but with a shallower lip. So press that in, hold that in, push that in, and then that creates a really beautiful gift box, but your lid is slightly shallower than the base, but it still fits absolutely perfectly. And as we were saying, and you were saying, Debbie, that is a small 5 by 7, but by following those measurements that I done there as in a diagram, that could be as big as your cardstock.
Yeah.
That could be.
Absolutely, and that's such a good way to show, and hopefully that helps with the question earlier saying about how you get that smaller lid done as well. We've had a question in from a Wolf Dark Eyes, Craig, and it's just where I think she just wants to know about that measurement. She says, at what point does the box scoreboard change from true size measurements? Right,
okie doke, really good question. So when you've got, let's say we're working on the inches, what we tend to do, I'll flip over in a minute to the centimetres. But you've got your big score here, so you've got your handle, that's where your scoring tool would be. This is the true measurements along the top. So right along the top there, that is the 100% true measurement. So if you were wanting to use that as a measurement guide in whichever way, I know that popping my cardstock, I can see that this piece of card is 8 1/4 inches by 8 1/4 inches, because that is the bang on measurements. The bottom isn't. So what I would say when it comes to measuring, don't ever look at that's only if you're needing to do your box bases. So that's not true measurements. The top ones are the true ones.
Oh, perfect. Thank you for covering that. Kirsty's saying she sat with a cup of tea, heating on, wrapped in a Snuggie blanket while
nice.
watching CTV and feeling very cold. She said, meanwhile, while the fish tank is next to me and registering at 20 centigrade, she said, that can't be right. Well, at least the fish are warm, hey? Right, I'm just going to take another look at these scoreboards now. Craig showed these earlier, which were amazing. If you've not seen these before, these are our decorative scoreboards. You get the teddy on here, you get the butterfly, you can actually you can actually build up your teddy bear with the hats and the little bow ties. Craig showed a brilliant card made with that teddy bear earlier, and I love the fact that you can do all different sizes. Turn it over and you've got all these different makes on the other side. So whether you're making card blanks, whether you want to do those bottles, lots of different embellishments on there, which I think is amazing. And the other scoreboard we've been showing today, and that's the one that has that milk carton on that Craig showed earlier, which is simple to do. All these different decorative tags that you can do, and then on the opposite side, if you cut 2 of these shapes out, it creates the most amazing little box. All of these are so good, and you will just find them all on our website as well. So if you want to shop for anything, just head along to Crafter's Companion and you will find all those things. Craig's going to show us exactly what he did with these earlier, because these are amazing makes actually, Craig.
Thank you, Debbie. It's nice to go back to something that was part of like the original Crafter's Companion, and that being the scoreboard. So I thought what we could do is, this is the one that I created before. Now, I did loosely put my base off because I wanted to be able to take it off to show you. Because what you can then either do is, using measurements, you can, of course, measure and then create your mats and layers like I've done here for any of your patterned paper. But what you can also do, if you wanted to, and I'm not going to do it, but I will explain and show, if you wanted to create your perfect mats and layers, just take a piece of cardstock, Debbie. It doesn't have to be the full size, just big enough for the panel that you are wanting to mat and layer, and then simply go in, score that rectangle, cut it out in the same way, then that will give you a lovely inner mat and layer with a lovely embossed detail all the way round. But as you can see, you can't. I'm only going to decorate one side here, but going in with any papers that you've got, using that board as an additional guide to do mats and layers by popping them in. So you can go in, maybe you've got a little, or I say little, a sizable bottle for dad or granddad, or even mum or gran for Christmas or birthdays. Decorate it in whichever way that you want.
Oh, I love that, Craig.
You would do that all the way around, but let's just pop that loosely back because I'll decorate it again just shortly. I would do a couple of layers of my card, one on the outside, one on the inside as well. pop it together. Now you could punch a hole at the top and do some thread, maybe get a bulldog clip and then you can hold it that way. Little hook and loop dots if you want to, you can do that, but you can see you can do that there, that one with the milk carton. And then I did score out a little teddy bear, and then this one can even go onto there. And I thought, what an extra way to decorate. You've got a card that could be full of little baby grows, little baby socks if you want to. You don't have to use it in a way to give little bottles. It could be sweets, of course. But they're one of those, using them for this weekend, Debbie. I know it's kind of reinvigorated my love and use for these boards.
I'm not surprised, Craig. I mean, first of all, the box, the milk carton reminded me of like a beach hut because of the deck chairs, sort of stripy paper. But when you put that little bear on, it almost looks like a mummy and baby card. So it could be congratulating the new baby coming along, doesn't it? Which is amazing. Now, if you've loved our starter skills today, you can go ahead and look on our website and you'll be able to find the big score and many other scoreboards, as well as the scoreboards that Craig has shown you today, which has been amazing. Let us know how you're finding the shows. We love the starter skills because they do take you back to basics and really show you, I mean, I say basics, I don't think Craig's makes have been basic at all today. Thank you everyone that's been watching us. We have so many people that are in yeah, it's just saying hello to everybody. Yeah, so thank you very much. But please join us back at 2 o'clock because we're going to be coming back at 2 o'clock with another amazing show, and we're going to, well, I'm not going to, but Craig's going to be getting his colouring out and showing us exactly what you can do in Colour Me Happy. So thank you for joining us this morning, and we will see you again at 2 o'clock. Bye.